I guess for you, this is kind of your team. Do you feel more confident? Do you feel more prepared going into this year than last year?
I'm trying to like prepare and do everything the exact same. There is a level to that though, but I still have a ton of things that I need to work on and that I am working on and that I'm looking to work on. And so there is a level of that, but at the same time, like I know I'm not where I want to be. And so just keeping my head down, not listening to any of the noise and just going to work.
Yeah, how do you tune all that out? Because I mean, I've seen like top 10 lists and just hadn't seen you on a Heisman list yet, but it's coming.
I'm off of social media, which helps a lot. Now, sometimes like it'll get sent to me by like a family member or a friend, and that's fine. Like it's just part of it. But like I said, I know my weaknesses and things that I'm trying to attack right now, and so blocking that stuff out is important. And deleting social media is something that's helped a lot.
For you last year, you made a lot of strides. For you, what do you kind of want to expand on in your game for this year?
A number of things, just between like getting in and out of like my checks, the right play calls, all of that stuff, and then like getting more technical with just like accuracy. I want to make life on my receivers as easy as possible, and so probably those two things are the two most important right now that I'm working on.
You were kind of hobbled over the back half of last season, mobility-wise. How's your ankle doing?
It's doing good. Yeah, no, it's doing a lot better. Was able to heal it up a lot. And then even now with practice, I'm still not like moving a lot because sitting in the pocket. Like if I played another position, it'd be different. But I'm able to be healing it right now, which is really important. And so it's feeling a lot better.
It wasn't talked about a lot, but how much did it affect you think toward the end of the season?
I mean, quite a bit. Just like wasn't able. I'm glad it wasn't talked about a lot. It means I was throwing the ball where it needed to go. But yeah, no, it did. Like I wasn't able to scramble as well, and like when the play would like break down, I think that's where like you saw it the most. And then some of those longer runs that I had, just wasn't able to do that, and so it affected me quite a bit. But I was able to grow like other parts of my game as far as like having to throw it and putting it in the perfect spot for a receiver to catch it, whereas other times like I would just tuck it and run. So
Jake said he was putting more on you or giving you more freedom in terms of checks and things like that. For quarterback, is that kind of a cool thing to have, and is it challenging though to have that?
Yeah, both at the same time. It's really cool just because, I'm able to like be out there and see everything, and he's awesome just with like allowing me to call it how I see it. But at the same time, like he does what he does a great job of is like putting me in the right looks where like, hey, these are your options. If you get this look, this is probably something you want to do. If you get that look, that's probably something you want to do. So he gives me parameters of things I can do, and gets me in the right spot a lot. So I'm thankful for him and being able to do that.
How much was the playbook open to you this time last year versus where it is now? Have you noticed any difference in that?
Yeah, for sure. Just way more advanced. And it wasn't like for me specifically, but just like 3 practices in with a new offense last year, we weren't, able to do some of the things we're doing now. And I was messing up all sorts of stuff just because I was trying to learn it. And whereas now it's like I was just talking about, more advanced and more technical stuff. But it is just a whole year advanced. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
No,
It's a whole year
good.
advanced now. So I'm a hand. I
Very
talk
good.
with my hand. I talk with my hands. Sorry.
How excited were you when you found out Ashton was getting another year, and what does he mean to
I was fired up. Yeah, no, I texted him, and he's awesome. Just, some of the plays he was making today, catching balls on top of people, has a wide catch radius, and so it makes my life super easy. So I'm super thankful he's coming back, and that energy he's going to bring, and just the like big play factor on Saturdays that he's going to have.
When we talked to Coach Aranda, he said this was one of the greatest quarterback rooms he's been around. How cool is that to hear, and just what have you seen from the room as a whole?
Yeah, it's awesome. That's what you want. Competition breeds excellence. I've said that since I got here, and all the guys are doing good. Just even Nate is in his second year. See him progress the way he has been incredible. And then the new guys with Walker and Ed kind of picking up like where we were at, whereas we were like way further behind last year. But then being able to come out here and make plays during practice has been awesome. And then Cade's progressed so much as well. Just he's putting a lot of juice on the balls, and so it's been cool to see really all the other guys kind of develop into who they are as a quarterback.
Do you and the older players talk about expectations of what this offense can be at all, or is it just stuff that y'all set for yourself individually?
No, we've talked about it for sure, and then like in our unit meetings, we'll talk about it. We know how we were last year, and especially that last half of the season, we were one of the most explosive offenses in the country, and so I mean like that's where the bar is at going into this season, and so we're just going to try to pick up where we left off and even build on that even more. And so we talk about it a lot. We know what our expectations are, and so we're going to try to go out there and do it.
You just talked about how much you've grown as a leader. For you, how much have you grown as a leader from last year to this year?
Yeah, I feel like a lot. A lot of the little things too, like when things, when you're thinking in your mind like somebody needs to say something, it's like, well, shoot, like it's me now. Like I got to say something, you know. So being vocal like that, but not just that, like every little thing that I do, I feel like somebody's watching me, and so I'll try to do the right thing all the time because I feel like those eyes are on me, even if they're not. That's kind of like the example I want to set, lead with my actions, all that stuff, and then also just kind of like some kind of like servant leadership where I can, you know, assist anybody with whatever it is, moving into a house or like talking with them while we're eating dinner, anything like that. So that's kind of been my mindset with the leadership aspect.
How has Nate grown from year one to kind of going into this spring? What's different about him?
He's year two is all Spav talks about all the time. Year two, like in the offense, you just you feel so much more comfortable because you're not doing everything for the first time. And for Nate specifically, like he's always been so smooth. It's so pretty watching him throw and stuff. And so to kind of see him put it all together, whereas with his like checks, getting in and out of the right plays, getting his feet right, making a good throw, it's really cool to see him do all that stuff. And then on top of that, like something that a lot of people don't know about him is he actually runs really, really well. And so for him being able to kind of make plays outside of the pocket has been really cool to see as well. And so I'm fired up for him. He's gained a lot of weight too, and so it's been awesome.
How much comfort does it bring you when you're playing behind returning 4 or 5 O-line starters?
A lot. It's nice. It's really nice just because they have a lot of chemistry up there with like the twist they're passing off and their double teams and the run game, all that stuff. And then like we're talking things through. Like Colton will give me a heads up whenever like, hey, this is a look you might want to check. And I'm telling Colton before the play like, hey, if we get this look, like I'm probably going to get into this play, just stuff like that. And so it's good to have that relationship already set. But it does bring like a huge level of comfort for sure.
So I know it's still early, but is there a specific guy or position group that excites you about this offense?
I mean, I think, like he just said, the O-linemen, obviously it's really nice to play behind them. And then the receivers have looked great, just being able to return Josh and Ashton, and then the additions we've made with Kobe and Cole, they've looked really good too. And then obviously y'all know what Bryson can do, and so it's gonna be really fun to see how much we grow this spring, and then in the fall camp, and then in the next season.
Fine.
Have you put on some?
Yeah, I have. I was like, since I got here, I was like, my first day weighing in, I was like 173. Now I'm like 191-ish. So, yeah.
Well, both Sawyer and Coach Spavital said, year two is, kind of you make a jump. What sort of jump or what steps have you taken?
Yeah, no doubt. For Sawyer, it's a little different. He played in the games. He's like been live action stuff. And so I've been there, last year as a backup for a lot of the year. It was just like figuring out, watching him, as an example of like, okay, what's Sawyer doing here? What would he do here? Asking questions to Spav and Coach Rhett. And so for me, I think coming into this year, it's like I got down the basics. Like I know the playbook. I know the personnel. I know which guys can do what, and I know my ability. So now I think it's just like, I'm sure Sawyer mentioned like the checks and stuff, so getting in and out of plays. So I think that's the next step for me. It's just like, okay, I see a look, I see man coverage, I'm going to check this. I'm going to check the protection if we got more guys in the box than we can protect. I think a lot of it's leadership too is a big part in year two for me. And Sawyer's the guy, and I'm going to be ready if I have to go, but it's just kind of like, okay, how can I find my spot of like, this is a place where I need to be a vocal leader. This is a place where I need to lead by example. And so that's been a big thing for me. So I'm just trying to each day like come in with a fresh mindset of like I'm just going to get better today, and I'm going to try to make everybody else around me better, and not be scared to do that. You know what I mean? It can be a thing like, oh, like Sawyer's got that, he can do that, and it's like, no, like as a quarterback you're going to have a place and a time to do certain things, and like you got to be ready to do that and can't be scared of the moment. So those are the biggest things I'm trying to work on for sure.
Seems like a pretty tight knit group. I noticed y'all were
Yeah.
Sawyer some fun back
God, y'all weren't supposed to see that. No, they're taking selfies. I guess stop, please stop. No.
How have y'all grown over this offseason and into this spring as sort of a cohesive unit?
No doubt. I mean, you can see it with like the quarterback room. Walker's trying to make me laugh back there, but I think that we got 2 new guys, and me and Sawyer had been together, and Cade, who's with us as well, and we're like so tight. And I think honestly, when people think about like a quarterback room, people ask me like, oh, like is it weird? Is there like bad blood? Is there like, because everyone's competing, and it's like, I mean, if you want to make it like that, you can, but I think that's the most like unhealthy thing you could possibly do. It's like off the field, like we're best friends. Me and Walker are best buds. Ed, me and him are really close. We're going to ask each other questions. We're going to make each other better. We're going to critique each other if we have to, check each other on some certain things, but it's like, when we get on the field, yeah, we're going to compete, but it's like we're just having fun. Like it's football. And so I think that's what the quarterback room specifically has done super well, of just like we're buddies. Like let's go have fun, play ball together, compete. Do what you can to get yourself ready to play, but it's all like just friendly stuff, and that culture is super awesome. And I think that translates to our team, to be completely honest with you. Just like we have a lot of new guys, as you guys know, like the portal, a lot of guys who helped us out last year left. But I think it's like what Coach Aranda has created of just being able to like pull and plug guys, and it's like this is who we are. Like we're ball, brotherhood, and battle. Like that's who we are. That's who we're always going to be. And I think that's so true. And even when I was recruited here, it's like this is who we are. This is what we're going to be, and that stood so true for the year that I've been here. So I think it's like no matter what year happens, like the culture is the same. And I've seen that like going into this year, and I think our team just trusts the coaching staff and like what they say they're going to do. And so I think we love each other. I think that's the first thing. And then that love turns into trust because we're continuing to do reps together. We're getting extra work. Some guys were over there throwing just a minute ago. So I think it's all the little things that just makes us like better on the field. And we're hanging out off the field too. I think that's like a unseen part of it. We have QB dinner sometimes. We're going to do some this semester, and it's just like we're just talking like we don't even have to talk football because that translates to the field. And I've seen it happen last year when we turned our season around from being 2-4. So that's just fun to watch, and be a part of it, obviously. But super proud of our guys of how they just continue to develop, continue to take on the challenge. And like when we play together, like we're really hard to stop, which y'all saw last year. So, yeah.
What is Walker like?
Walker.
Describe him
I
as
can
a
just talk to
person, as a
Walker. He's right there. No.
We'll get to that.
Yeah. No. Yeah, Walk's awesome, man. And like obviously quarterback, we're in the same grade. But it was super cool, like him coming in. Like our moms actually knew each other from some stuff like over social media, and I'd always heard great things about him. We had like mutual connections. So Walker's a goofball, which is awesome because he just stabbed. Because our quarterback room, like we said, we're so close because we're all very similar. And so Walk's been nothing but like just a cool dude to hang out with. Like football's awesome. We're helping each other on the field. We're throwing touchdowns. We're chest bumping. Like I think there's a level of like uncomfortability in the terms of like, okay, we're pushing each other, we're competing for like a spot, like it's football, that's going to be, it's college football, that happens, but at the same time, like you got to be comfortable being uncomfortable, and so it's pushing me, and I'm just like, it's going to make me a better person, it's going to make me a better player, he makes me a better person, like seeing his faith in God too, like that's grown in me so much. Sawyer, I mean, y'all have heard him talk about it so much, so I think, the world of Walker, so we're just going to keep competing each day, keep helping each other out, and so yeah, nothing but good things to say about him, so he's awesome.
What kind of went into your decision about transferring here? What did you see in Baylor, that kind of thing?
Yeah, I mean, tons of variables. I think at the end of the day, I was focused. I saw Jackson Arnold coming in, and it wasn't the fact that I was afraid to compete. I just think there were just things that me and my family talked a lot. I left into Chris's break. I left Auburn. Not knowing I was transferring. Me and my family started talking a bunch, and so we actually ended up coming to that decision. Me and my brother actually had to drive back to Auburn to get my stuff, pack up my room, which ended up being convenient because I was training down in Birmingham for a little bit. But I I think it was just a huge family deal. I feel like the Lord was calling me somewhere else, and someone asked me today that, what's the feeling towards Auburn? I said there's no bitterness. I love those coaches, love those players. I'll cheer them on except game one. But I mean, I love that town. I had a great church there. It was a great place. I loved Auburn.
How strange is that, having that on the schedule week one, and you're going to see all those guys? I'm just curious if you thought about that at all.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of hard not to think about it. It's definitely strange. I think it's going to become more reality once I actually start watching tape on them, and watching the guys that I recruited to Auburn, like how to defeat them. So it's definitely going to be weird, but I mean, it's all love for those guys. I really do love all those guys. I mean, I recruited them. We all knew each other out of high school. So much of us competed in high school in the All-American game in San Antonio. So we just had a lot of background, and so I definitely do miss those dudes. But I mean, heck, we're gonna try to scheme them up and go get our first win of the season.
When you were coming here, like, was it at all a mental hurdle or anything to know, Sawyer had kind of established himself by the end of last year? Like, was that hard to know you were kind of coming in as the number 2 or 3?
Yeah. We're all competitive. We all want to play. I think at Auburn, I was really thankful to have a guy like Peyton Thorne, 5th-year dude, who knew so much ball, taught me a ton. And I knew what I was walking into here. I knew that there was definitely that possibility, and I've been so thankful and blessed to learn under Sawyer. He's taught me a bunch already, and I just try to watch every detail that he does. When I came here, there were so many people that spoke highly of him, and just they gave me the advice of, like, watch what Sawyer does because he has it figured out. And I would definitely agree to that statement. Late nights, you still see his truck here, and he's watching film. Or after practice, he's probably going to be doing something extra in the training room or catching another lift. And he never stops. And so I've been excited to kind of, like, watch his routine. Very professional guy, and knows the game well. And so that's been something I've really enjoyed, and that's all, like, I want as a quarterback and as a player personally, is just to get developed. And sometimes that's watching other dudes that know it better than you, to learn something. But he's also just been a great friend. I mean, the first day I met him, I mean, he had the biggest smile on his face, gave me a good firm handshake, and I was like, man, this guy's awesome. But I mean, he's been great to me. So,
Walker, what has it been like working with a coach like Coach Pavital?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely different. Every coach has their niches, but Spav's just a very chill dude. He's gonna let athletes be athletes. I think you'll see that in the offense. He gets his players playing hard for him. If you watch all the games from last season, especially at the end of the season, you'll see his guys just never stopping until that whistle blows, and that's what he preaches. And he told me he preached that on my visit here and while I was in the portal. He's like, I'm going to get these guys to play hard for me, and the tape shows for that. And so that's very contagious. As a quarterback, we're the driver of that. We have to get those guys going, but you just love to see guys like the offensive linemen and the receivers really taking in, like, perimeter blocking and stuff like that, stuff that is selfless, and they're not getting the ball, but they're still going to go all out. And Coach Spav inspires those guys to do those receivers to do that. And you just look at his bio. I mean, he has a ton of experience in the game of football. He's been in a ton of places, coached a ton of quarterbacks, put some guys in the NFL, and he knows how to develop a quarterback. And I've been very excited to learn from him. I've been trying to get around him as much as possible, learn his mind, and just try to learn the game, try to learn his offense. I mean, I've been here only a couple months, and so I'm gonna make a couple mistakes, but he's super. Like I feel like he really knows how to talk to a quarterback. He's like, hey, you're good, move on to the next play. And that's also part of the reason because he played the position, and so he understands. So it's been awesome.
He said, I think he's got like 90% of the offense in now, three practices in.
Yeah.
Your head's spinning a little bit because, like, Nate and Sawyer have been here. You're just now here. Has that been tough for you at all?
I mean, yeah, there's stuff that you, like, need to learn. Every coach, most of the time playbooks are universal, and so when I had my offense memorized at Auburn, I come here and they're like, yeah, we call this Hank. I'm like, oh, that was just like this. And so it's just like you start compartmentalizing your brain. You're like, oh, this is like this, is like this. I mean, he has different plays and allows his receivers to do different things and protections and stuff like that. What the quarterback has the freedom to do, had to adjust to that. But I mean, I thought it was fairly, I don't want to say easy, but I mean, it comes along pretty well. It starts clicking once you start looking at it, and just start comparing. And I mean, memorization, and just, it takes work for sure. I mean, I'm going to go watch practice after this and probably start watching more clips of the new install. But yeah, I mean, it has been a bunch to just throw in there, and he's really stacking up his installs. And so, I mean, it's been fun. I mean, I think he's thrown us into the fire, which is only going to make us better. I mean, he told me he wants me to mess up, and I was like, really? But I mean, that's how he learned. That's how he believes a quarterback learns, and how really any player learns is trial and error, figure it out, and just continue to play the next play.
It's early, but do you feel yourself forming any connections with any specific receivers, or have you highlighted any guys that you have had a connection with already on the field?
Yeah, I mean, guys like Kobe, me and him kind of clicked really early on. Guys like Seth Weller, Jackson, Cole. I mean, I feel like as a quarterback and just as – so my roommate from last year was one of my receivers, and I loved all those guys that came in with me, that I recruited. And so I feel like I got the understanding of like how to communicate with those guys, how to click with them, and how to just be on the same page. Communication goes a long way. Kobe came from Alabama, so we kind of have that like beef, but we're also boys. And you just start paying attention. I mean, I think the biggest thing, especially as a leader, just learning the guys' names. I mean, that was a challenge. You know, you coming straight into a new team, everybody knows everybody. I'm just like, okay, I'm just trying to learn my coaches' names right now. So I mean, learning guys' names is a very personal thing to do, and I think I tried to really get that down as fast as possible, especially with the offensive line and guys like my receivers. But I mean, yeah, they're working hard for us. We don't have a ton of depth right now at receiver, but I mean, those guys are running hard, and I'm just trying to preach compete, and they're taking the challenge head on, and those guys are fighting. So you just start respecting one another. And we had a whole winter to kind of get to know each other, and did a couple team activities, bowling, watched a couple movies. So it's been fun. It's been cool.